Hey everyone, welcome to my personal channel, Socials Awkward. My name is David Vidal, and these are my top 10 suggestions for safe riding. Let's go. Most TRex riders are forced to take an off season due to weather conditions, and there is no time more dangerous for a rider than the start of ride season. But no matter what time of year you stumble into this video, or if you enjoy a never winter climate, it's always a great idea to tighten up your safety practices. If you're a weekend warrior or a hardcore rider, the TRex is not without its risks. In fact, the comfortable platform and the lack of motorcycle endorsement necessary to ride may only inspire a false sense of security. But for most people, life without risk is hardly worth living. Obviously, doing dangerous things dangerously is a fast track to injury or death, which is exactly why we all must learn to do dangerous things as safely as possible. So without any further delay and in no particular order, here are 10 safe riding practices that I believe you should adopt. Number 1, perform regular maintenance. That's right, go to your maintenance log, don't ignore these things. Make sure that your tires have adequate pressure, make sure that your chain is tight and right and all your fluids are topped off. Just go through that maintenance chart in your book. It leaves no stone unturned, and it's one of the best ways to keep your machine running flawlessly. If you have a machine that's been maintained very well, it is like the sharp knife. It is still a little dangerous, but a lot less dangerous than a dull one. Number 2, avoid speeding through congested areas and high traffic areas. Sometimes we do need to move around traffic in order to put ourselves in a safe place, but speeding through and zipping in and out of high traffic areas is a recipe for disaster. Number 3, don't be the first person off the line. When you're at a red light, don't treat this like NASCAR. Don't wait for the light to turn green, pop the clutch and bury that throttle. The first person off the line is the guy who gets hit by the red light runner. So make sure that you're the second or even third person off the line. Number 4, this is a 2-for-1. Be stone cold sober and hyper vigilant. When you're out on your TRex, avoid using alcohol, avoid using anything that's going to alter your mind and change the way you react or your reflex time. You need to be hyper vigilant, always checking your mirrors, always looking over your shoulders, not being distracted by your passenger if you've got one, or any other thing in your TRex, which we'll get to in a minute. Number 5 is to maintain a safe distance, including within your riding group. It's fun to ride with a group of TRexes, and it's fun to get into the mix, I get it, but you need to keep a safe distance between the people who are around you. You never know if their vehicle's gonna have a malfunction. You never know if yours is gonna have a malfunction. So you need to maintain safe distance. If somebody has to make a quick maneuver to dodge something in the road that you can't see, you're not gonna have time to dodge that thing too. So maintain a safe distance. Number 6, use your turn signals. I know this is a really simple one, but it really does help. If you've got somebody in your blind spot and you use your turn signal, there is a good chance that they're gonna see you and at least give you a honk, let you know that they're over there. But it really does help. Speaking of that, check your blind spots regularly and avoid the blind spots of others. Don't make it a habit to ride in somebody else's blind spot. Pay attention to where you are. If you can't see them in their mirror, they can't see you. The next is to avoid distractions wherever possible. While you're riding, man, you can't get all wrapped up in that big banging stereo, the touch screens, your cell phones, all the stuff. This is dangerous enough without adding distraction to the mix. So set your stereo, put your ear pods in, put your headphones on, whatever it is that you're gonna listen to. It really will pay off to pay attention to the road. While all these tips are important, the next couple I would say are very important. Know your limits. Ride within your limit. And this is probably the hardest one to do no matter what kind of toy you're on. If you're on a Sea-Doo or a snowmobile or a four-wheeler or a boat or any kind of toy, motorcycle, TRex, it doesn't matter. It seems to me that most people do not know their limits and do not ride within their limits. You need to do this. I know this calls for a great sense of humility. Sometimes you're gonna have to let somebody pass you or outgun you on the highway. Trust me, just let it roll off your back. Being in the T-Rex is cool enough. You don't need to go 1,000 miles an hour. It already looks great. You already look good in it. So just enjoy the time, look good, ride within your limits. If you haven't been practicing your riding, don't go to the canyon and expect to just dominate those curves. You really do need to take your time, ride within your limit. And this one's actually really fun because riding within your limit means you get to practice a lot. And practice means you get to go out and ride. So just ride your T-Rex, try things that you haven't tried in safe places, and understand where those limits are. My last suggestion is to take advantage of the KTRC and power mode combination on your T-Rex. That's that big silver knob that you press to change the power mode and the KTRC mode. This is really, really important, especially at the very beginning of the season, because we're a little jumpy on the clutch and a little heavy on the gas, and our roads are ice cold. If you're coming out of winter into your on season, even though it might be 60 degrees outside, 70 degrees outside, whatever your riding threshold is, it does take the ground more than a couple of weeks to warm up. And then even still, you could have a warm day and a really cool night. If you go out in the morning, all of a sudden the roads are cold again. So take advantage. It doesn't mean you're a bad rider if you ride in L3. That's a really great place to be at the beginning of the season. You know, the manual suggests that if it's wet or slippery road, so I would also include if it was a cold road, you should be riding in L3, and then slowly move it back into L2 and then L1 as the season continues on. And then obviously F1 and turning your KTRC off altogether, that really should be reserved for track and track riding. I would avoid using those settings on your normal driving. It's dangerous. There's way more power than you think. Again, this goes back to riding within your limits. If you have to make an evasive maneuver on the highway or on a side road or avoid a pothole or you hit something slick and you're in F1 or you have that thing off altogether, you are really gonna regret it. It is a recipe for a spin out, and spin outs could land you in the middle of traffic. It could land you off the side of the road, causing all kinds of damage to your T-Rex, potentially injury to you, injury to somebody else, and maybe even death. So use that KTRC and power mode settings. They are mission critical and definitely go hand in hand with knowing your ride limits. But what about you guys? Leave a comment below and tell us what your favorite safe riding practices are. This is one of my favorite conversations that I get into at motorcycle rallies and car shows. I really want to know what people are doing in order to ride safely, because it's impossible for us to live without doing dangerous things. And so we need to know how to do these dangerous things as safely as possible. I hope this helps. And as always, be nice and ride safely. I'll see you out there.